Okay.
All right. God's afternoon. Welcome to Reeds Being Refined by the Fires. This is another episode of my podcast called God Now Uses Us. I have my cousin Lakeshia Phillips, as my guest today. And we'll be discussing her testimony and what led to her to seek her medical condition for treatment for her medical condition, that she grew up self-medicating herself just like I did. And it'll be available on all platforms on tomorrow, Friday, October 13th. So, Keisha.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
So, girly, let's see. So, you're my first cousin by my mother's younger brother. She had two younger brothers, but your dad was my Uncle Junior, or Walter Jr., that was his name. So, I've already asked you about you thought that I was your aunt because I would be around, you guys call her grandma, but I used to call her mama. Now I call her Big Mama because my kids call her Big Mama. So, but you said your younger sister Ty was the one that thought that I was you guys' aunt, your dad's sister.
Yes.
That's so funny to me.
She thought you were the cooler, younger aunt.
I could have been.
Yeah.
Okay, what was your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite child, and it's so many. I can't just boil them down. Really, when all of the family would get together, we could get together because it was just the end of the weekend and we wanted to party, celebrate. I just remember all my little cousins, my siblings, aunts, uncles. We would just go over there. We're always going to have a good time.
Yeah.
A lot of laughs.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to eat. We're going to cook.
Definitely eat and cook.
Yeah. Cook. We're going to laugh. We're going to play. I remember me and the kid, your kids running, and now it doesn't even seem the same. You guys call her Big Mamas, call her Grandma's ditch, and now it's like that ditch was not that steep, but when we were little,
it seemed like it was deep. It seemed like it was a big ditch, like down the street. They used to go. I don't know if you knew where the big ditch was. We used to take that. It was like over off of I don't know the name of that street, but we used to take it to go to Yale Street. No, not Yale. Cross Timbers. It was a gas station that we used to be able to cut through the neighborhood, but in order to get there, we'd have to go through the big ditch. And when we were little, that ditch in front of our grandmother's house seemed like it was that deep. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Mm-hmm. So, who was your best friend in elementary school?
My best friend is actually someone I'm still with, friends to this very day.
Wow.
It's India Wilson. We met back in second grade.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually the godmother of my first child.
Wow.
And we've been friends. And one thing I like about me and her relationship, like, we never had an actual falling out.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Now, we have disagreements. Let me say that.
Yeah. Okay. So y'all didn't have a perfect relationship.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I don't think that exists anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think it exists. And like you said, of course, our friendship has been tested. And it's so, you know what? And it's so crazy because it was more so like I would say other people than us.
Mm-hmm.
It was either I didn't like someone who she was dealing with,
mm-hmm.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
but it was never us. Like our foundation was solid, but our like if she's dating somebody that I don't like, and of course I want her to date, of course that's
somebody that you like.
Yeah, but if I don't like them, I wouldn't be around. And of course, they're still my best friend. Like we'll text, or we'll shoot each other texts, or maybe on social media we'll shoot each other a message and stuff like that. We just wouldn't be around each other.
Yeah.
One thing about it, she's very respectable. I can tell her I can tell her how I feel. She's definitely gonna do the same, and we just respect each other.
That's good. That's good. Respect means everything. If you don't have respect,
right,
you don't have much of a relationship.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
What was your favorite junk food in middle school?
Snickers.
Really?
Snickers. Actually, I carried that because in school I never ate the school food.
No, I didn't either.
My lunch.
I ate at the vending machines.
Yeah, in high school, my lunch consists of a Snickers, and that's when they took all, when we were still in school, that's when they actually took all, because we had soda machines at first, but they took all, they were on this health plan. They didn't want us all to drink all them sodas.
Yeah.
So they took all the sodas away, and they filled our stuff with like Hawaiian Punch, the lifted brisk tea. So that's what my lunch would consist of: a Snickers bar and a green Hawaiian Punch. And of course, back then I could eat as many as I want.
Yeah.
I would get big. So yeah, that's what I consider.
My lunch at the vending machine was a bag of Funyuns, because I love me some fresh Funyuns. And then my drink was Pepsi. I love Pepsi Colas. Yep.
See, yeah, they removed all that.
Well, so y'all from a whole nother generation. That was in my generation. And by the way, Keisha is my first cousin, but my children is her brother and sister's age. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
She went to high school with my daughter, Britt, my oldest daughter. Yeah. So, again, about the, you going to school with my daughter. How was that going to school with your, second cousin?
I love that. My cousin was very popular. My cousin was very known. So, everybody knew her. And she was in everything. So, of course, she exposed me to different things. Because I was more the chill, laid back. And I was known, too. I was just known that she was known because she was running up for homecoming queen. She was, that was her thing. I was in band. I was a color guard. She was in the actual band. And she was just in any and everything. But every time we told people it was cousin, like, nobody believed it.
That is so strange. I can't believe. Why didn't they believe?
They didn't believe it.
I mean,
one day I went and my mom and dad, they have this, well, they used to have it, let me say this. It was a big old, it was a suitcase. And it was like, she had photos, books, and things like that. And I actually went and got a picture of me and Britt. We both had on, we were at the family reunion. We had on our family reunion shirt. And I was like, see, that's me. And that's Brittany still looks, I still look the same too, but Brittany really looks the same. And I was like, see, that's my cousin. Like, this is actually my cousin. It's not somebody I'm just calling my cousin.
We ain't just playing, saying we cousins. We really cousins. We blood.
No, we're really cousins. I got proof. It's one baby picture. It's my baby picture. That's me.
That is a shame. Had to prove yourself. They made you bring out the baby pictures.
That's really my cousin.
So, bring me up to date on the work you do now. Where do you work?
So I work for Aetna and I process claims.
Okay.
Process insurance claims.
Okay. So, and how do you like doing that?
I like it because, again, with my brain, And the way it works, I consider any job you get, even from the pettiest job, some people think even from McDonald's and things like that. I think people want anything you tap yourself into, you should be a sponge and soak up everything.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that, because a lot of knowledge that I learned from this company and previous companies that I work with, like, and when you're actually in that field, you learn so much. Like, I didn't know all this was going on, or like me processing claims of different people that's on. Because sometimes I also do people that's on Medicaid and things like that, and or they may have Aetna as their secondary and need Medicaid. Like, I didn't know all the different insurance or the layers that they have.
Yeah.
With that, I'm like, oh my God, Medicaid may cover it all, or Aetna only cover a certain percent, where Medicaid will cover, the other percent that Aetna wouldn't cover. So as I'm learning, as I'm getting older, and like you said, I've been with this company for a while, I'm learning more things that was just not on the surface, actually digging into it. So I'm like, oh wow, like this is how it goes. Because hopefully when I get to that age, I need to use it, or it'll still be around.
Yep. So, when and how did you meet the father of your children?
We actually met at work.
At the same job?
At the same job? No.
At Aetna?
This was years ago.
Okay.
We met at work, and actually his friend was trying to talk to me, and I started talking to him. And I just started talking to him because I thought I was going to run the friend off, but it didn't. But I started talking to him, and then I left the break room, and after work, he ended up following me out. He ended up following me out and asking for my number.
Not determined. He saw what he liked and was coming after it.
Yeah.
So, and he's the father of your children, right?
Yes, he's the father of all three of my kids.
Okay. And may I ask honestly, why didn't you marry him and y'all got 3 kids together?
You know what? Sometimes usually I know I have a hard head, I don't listen, but I honestly think he was showing me all the signs of what I did need to do to carry this man. And he asked me 2 times.
Oh, really?
Something was placed in my heart where I was like, this is not right.
Yeah.
This is not love.
Yeah.
This is, and I look at it as this when people ask me that. He put me in his life to have my 3 beautiful kids, which I'm more than grateful and love so much.
Yeah.
So I'll never take that away from him. But he didn't put me in his life to be his wife.
Sometimes that happens. People come into your life for a season.
Yes.
And his season has ended. And y'all aren't together anymore. Yeah.
Definitely ended.
But you got 3 beautiful kids out of it.
I did. And I that's one thing I would never take him. Like, I love my little love bugs. I love him. I really do. I thank him for that. And actually, you know what? I'll be lying if I didn't say he taught me. And again, just like with certain jobs, you're supposed to. So he taught me a lot of things of going on.
Yes.
My upcoming relationship, even from me starting off with friends with guys, like certain stuff. I feel like if they're doing that now, it could only get worse.
Yeah.
The things that I didn't see in him. But of course, when I first met him, I wasn't his child mother. I was just a girl.
Yeah.
At the time, he had a lot going on, but he taught me the biggest lesson too. Like certain stuff, you feel like, hey, I went down that road, so I'm not gonna go down that road. It wasn't right the first time.
Yeah. Don't go again.
Certain red flags. Oh, I believe it now. I'm closer to 40, so I'm definitely looking at the signs.
I can't believe
if
you.
If he's telling me to get out, I'm gonna get out.
Yeah. I can't believe you almost 40.
No,
I made 55 on my birthday in March.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, man. Oh my God, and I'm so happy because honestly, with me and Brenton, we lost so many classmates, and we're not even 40.
Huh?
So, yeah, we lost a lot of class. We just lost one like a week or two ago.
Like,
We've been losing.
what are they dying from?
To be honest with you, you remember I told you I had two other best friends.
Mm-hmm.
My boy best friend, I'm told now. I haven't, because me and his mother is very close, but she's still grieving because that's her first child that she lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel comfortable asking her or going, saying what happened. But I heard he actually died from a heart attack.
Wow.
The other one, Manny, I don't know if you remember, but talking about Manny died. I can't say what he actually died of because I'm hearing rumors that he may have had either HIV or AIDS.
Oh wow!
I know one of the girls, she died from sickle cell. One got shot. It's just been
wow.
Been, when I tell you, yeah, we lost a lot, and we're not 40. And some of them, we wasn't even 35.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Lord is really calling people home. Well, I can't say all of them going. All of them ain't going to heaven.
Yeah, we haven't even made it to 40 yet. But, like the times are forever changed. Like the 40s that, were back when you guys was 40. It's not our 40.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, my generation don't even look like I said, we lost some. I don't think I like to expand. And hopefully we won't to, but to 50. Oh my God, like, because we're dying so young.
Mm-hmm. Every year is a blessing. Every day, every morning when I wake up, I say, thank you, Lord, for another day.
Definitely. You have to.
Yeah.
In this world that we live in,
you never know what's going to be your last day. Anything. You could, a stray bullet, you could be driving in your car and a stray bullet from somewhere come through your window and hit you and kill you.
Definitely.
Yeah. Lord.
So you have to thank him. I agree.
Yes, every morning. That's what I do. That's my routine. The time I wake up, open my eyes, I'm like, thank you, Lord, for keeping me through the night and waking me up to a brand new day. What will you have me do for you today? I've started doing that.
Yes, definitely.
Yep. Because it's all about him.
It is.
You know,
and that's what I said.
They say readers are leaders. Are you a reader?
Oh, I am definitely a reader.
That's my girl.
I say I haven't read as much, but I'm definitely a good book is what everyone needs. If they honestly think about the book,
yes,
everyone needs.
Yes, I love chocolate, but I love reading almost as much as chocolate, and so that's a hard decision for me. If you offer me
that's my addiction as well. That is my addiction as well.
If you offer me some and Dove's milk chocolate, oh my God.
I agree. Dove's, me in the book, and I call that a great addiction. Because I could sit there and just take myself away.
Yes.
And the house would be burning, and everybody was, where's
Keisha?
In the book in the corner somewhere.
You be like, I thought I smelled smoke. The house to burn down.
I'm telling you, a book is and I'm telling my first child, I read so much.
Yeah.
I read so much.
That's good.
That's why she's such a strong, straight reader. Because when I say I was in a book, like, he would come home and be like, hey, I made your plate. It's already warm. It's in the microwave. Here it is. And I'm going back to my book.
Yeah. That's like my baby daughter is a good reader. She was reading when she started reading in kindergarten. They had early reading books, and she had read all that they had. I had to get her a library card to start getting her other books because she had read all the books they had in the school. in their classroom. So she was an early reader. Yeah.
Well, these kids are so much advanced. They're way more advanced than we were. So, but I think if I could be, I would definitely be like that.
Yeah.
I love reading.
Okay, now let's get back to your medical backstory. That's interconnected with both mine, my mother's, and many other of our family members. If you guys have tuned in to my very first video, the God of a Second Chance, where I tell my whole story about my medical emergency after 7 days after I had my youngest daughter. I had a arterial venous malformation, and it's rare, hereditary disease, condition, and I had to have it removed from my head, but it left some scar tissue, so now I suffer with seizures sometimes because of the scar tissue, and because you could have the surgery and not have seizures, but because of the scar tissue that the emergency surgery caused, I now have seizures, so I have to take 3 different medications, anti-seizure medications, and I have my levels checked periodically, and I have a doctor that monitors those levels, and he'll change the medicines up and give me the way I should take them, and then I have to have my levels checked. I have my blood checked as often as needed. And so what is your story? When did you because mine started when I was back in school, when I started wearing glasses, like maybe 2nd or 3rd grade, and I was having these headaches, and other kids weren't having it, and my mama kept saying, well, you needed glasses, your eyes just need to adjust, and I'm like, well, okay. So I waited, but the headaches didn't go away, so by the time I was a teenager, I started self-medicating myself. So what was your story? Because we were first cousins, but I had no idea you were going through the same thing. But it sounds like you were dealing with the exact same thing that I was dealing with.
Definitely somewhat similar to the same, because me as well. I started wearing glasses in the 2nd grade. And me and you discussed, like, I noticed that, I would still get headaches, and nobody around me would get headaches like that.
Yeah.
And I was told, I needed glasses, which I did. So I got glasses, and when that didn't get better, well, when I saw it, I got glasses, still had a headache. I'm like, okay, something is not right. So now I got the headache on, and then I was told, well, you just need to get used to your glasses. I'm like, okay. Well, years later, been wearing glasses, I done wore contacts, I done wore so
yeah.
I would keep, and mine's, and once I got older, mine's would be so bad. It was so intense. I keep and BC powder was the only thing that worked for me.
Oh, you see, you were on the real hard stuff, but that was your daddy. He always BC was his medicines.
Yeah,
whenever he had headache, that was his go-to.
Yes, that's the only thing that could knock it out. Like, I could take Tylenol, Tylenol. It doesn't matter what dose. That did not work fast enough.
No.
BC powder is the only thing that will work fast, knock it out, and I would be okay. You can give me Tylenol Forge or anything. No, that was only, and I had to. So I kept one in my car. So I would just randomly get them. Like sometimes you would think you're having a good day and a headache will come. So I keep them in my car.
Been there, done that.
At the time, I was working in my office, so I took it back in my office because I'd be looking at the screen all day, and I would keep a pack at my desk just in case.
Wow.
I would get a headache advance, and then so I started talking to my primary care, and I told him, like, hey, I couldn't say the words, so I told him, I said, hey, my family has this, and I think I may have it. And so he started asking me questions, then he referred me to his neurologist, that he those, and they had me do a CAT scan, and so it was like, yes, ma'am, we have confirmed it has been detected.
Wow.
You do have it.
Yeah.
And
because I was the one that told you. I was like, I didn't realize you were still having headaches. I remember when you used to hang with my daughter, and we was around, and I remember you'd have headaches then, but I had no idea you still, you know what I mean, out of sight, out of mind. And I wasn't thinking about, you suffering with headaches. I had no idea this was something that was hereditary. Well, come to find out, I talked to you and I told you, Keisha, you need to find a neurologist. So that's when you went on and found a doctor to
after my primary care, actually, he started telling me, he was like, hey, this could be serious. And so at this time, what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep me from like you said, having any type of aneurysm. So I'm on I'm under a doctor's review. I was supposed to be coming every 6 months. Now I'm coming every 3 months. I'm getting older, and I gain weight, so they're trying to get, and everything plays a factor.
Yeah,
and
everything.
About it, what you don't know is it can trigger it. It can trigger it any time.
Yes. It's like living with a ticking time bomb in your head. That was that was the reason for our headaches when we were younger, and we couldn't understand why we were having headaches. It was from the literally ticking time bombs in our head, and they were set to go off at a certain time. And thank God, after I had been in premature labor with my daughter, and 7 days later, on her actual due date, is when I had my brain stroke. And come to find out, it was hereditary. And so I'm the generational curse breaker of our family. Yeah. So, my mom has one. When she found out, when she left from down here with me, when I had my emergency surgery, when she got back to Houston, she went and found a neurologist to be tested, and she found out she had one, but she never had headaches. So it's like, now we need to come together, and everybody in the family need to get tested. Everybody who was on my grandmother's side needs to get tested, whether they have headaches or not, because it runs in the blood.
Yeah,
because
it's just in it.
Yeah, my mom didn't have headaches, but so that explains why she always thought I was, just complaining or just being as she would say, being extra.
Like you said, as a child, though, like you said, we were talking about it, like, nobody complained about headaches.
No.
One young child, I didn't have 3, you didn't have, none of our kids really complained about it.
No.
But like you said, look at your mom. She never had a headache.
Never had a headache.
Yeah. So, just because they don't have it, that don't mean it's not there.
Exactly. It could be there and just disguised.
Yeah.
Laying dormant. Yeah. And like I say, years ago, if you died from a stroke, they just wrote stroke on the death certificate. They didn't have, medical technology wasn't advanced as it is now, to where they can actually, they know what categories, it's different categories of strokes. And now they can tell that it was a hereditary, rare birth defect that runs in our bloodline on our grandmother's side. So it's like everybody needs to be tested who has Big Mama's blood in them. All of our cousins. Yep. Our children.
Our children. I can tell my siblings. And my kids, like my doctors now, I had to let their doctor know. Like you said, and the medicine. I was on medicine, but I have headaches, so I know for sure that I won't have a headache. I'll go take my medicine. And
do you still have headaches?
Coming up in December, actually.
Do you still have headaches?
I have them, but not as much since I have the medicine that they gave me.
What are you on? Never mind.
I don't have the medicine right here. Because
I've been on. I call it my cocktails, my daily cocktails, because I take them 3 times a day. I take levetiracetam, phenytoin, and dilantin, and I have to have my levels checked now for my doctor to find out what range I'm in, because I'm supposed to be between 10 and 20, but I'm also going through a Social Security disability review right now, and it seems like every time I'm up for review, my levels be totally off. It's like 1.5, 3.4. It's like I can't even, and 10 is the minimum. So I'm nowhere near 10. I'm supposed to be between 10 and 20, not 1.5 or 3.4.
Right, yeah.
So it never fails though, but God knows. He'll take care of it. He got me this far. I ain't worried.
Oh, definitely.
He got my back. I'm covered.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So, let's discuss some realities from the past that you knew God was involved because your situation changed. Something from the past 3 years of your life.
Being with my kid's father, I knew God, he had his hands on me. Because our arguments were bad. Like you said, I can literally feel my pulse. My head would beat.
Yeah. You can feel your pulse.
Some of the times I had the worst headaches. Like, because, and sometimes I told you I would just sit there and just so we could end the argument.
Yeah.
Because I was so tired. I was drained, like literally. Sometimes I wouldn't even get a chance to take a BC powder.
Wow.
So I was so drained, I just passed out, literally, from arguing. And as you get older, arguing takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, it does. It does.
A lot of energy. So,
and the older you get, it don't get no better.
Yeah.
Because like I say, I'm 55 now, and it's like, really? No, I just stopped talking.
Yes. Yeah. So I knew God had his hand on me because, like you said, that's a ticking time bomb. That bomb could have went off.
Yeah.
Several times I feel like.
And the thing is, what would have happened? I just think God had his hands all over you in that situation and all over me, because I've been hit in the head several times by boyfriends, by ex-husbands, and it's an ex-husband, my first husband. He used to beat me like I was a dog. And I remember after I had first had my first daughter, our only baby, he hit me in my head. She had colic, and she would cry all the time, just constantly. It's like once sunset came, I knew the crying would start, and I couldn't shut her up. Nothing would pacify her. I could walk around and rock her and try to dance with her, and nothing. So, and this one particular time, he was just tired of it, and it was like, but he hadn't been around any babies. He wasn't the type of guy who, had younger sisters that he remembered being a baby. He was a baby himself when his sisters was babies. So he couldn't relate. And I was like, she's crying because she has colic. We had already had her. They had already told us at the hospital what she had colic. So I knew that was part of it, and I was willing to go along and do whatever I had to do just to, try to pacify and keep her quiet. Well, no, this one particular time, he knocked me in my head, and I passed out, and he locked the bedroom door with her in there still screaming. I was like, when I woke, I don't know what time, I don't know how long it was, but when I finally woke up, I knocked on the door. She had stopped crying by that time, and I heard him snoring in the room, and Lord have mercy, that's a whole nother story for another day.
Right.
Y'all tune in on my ex-husband's issue episode. But I've been hit in the head by ex-boyfriends, knocked out in front of the door, in front of these apartments that I lived in, and this was just like, whew. God was with me though. Definitely. Every time, God was with me.
he was definitely with me because that's the only reason why I'm telling you, I made it through. Like I said, I remember this one day. You saying you being knocked out. At least you knew why you was knocked out. When I tell you, I just laid out. And when I came to, like you said, I couldn't tell you. You know.
You passed out, or he hit you?
No, he didn't hit me. We had argued so bad and so long.
Oh wow!
I laid on the bed, and I wasn't supposed to go to sleep. I was just dreaming. I just laid out. I just like when I say like how your cell phone and when it's on 1% it goes out.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what happened.
Wow.
I just went out.
Wow.
Then I woke up like I couldn't remember what happened. Of course, when I woke up, the worst headache ever.
Yep.
And it was one of those headaches that
it's like a headache of. It's like a migraine. A migraine on steroids is the way I describe it.
It was so bad. I just remember I turned on the light not knowing that, I knew I had a headache. But I was like, oh my God. I think I was looking for my glasses because I was going to check on my kids. My kids were fine. They were asleep, actually. So I guess they thought that I was in their sleep.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, when that light hit my head.
Yep. The worst.
I just went underneath the pillow.
Yep.
I'm like, no. And so I remember my oldest started coming in and I'm like, don't turn on the light.
Did you used to get nauseous?
So bad that my cell phone might hurt.
Did you used to get nauseous with your headaches?
I think like not as much. I would say probably like 2 or 3 times, but not as much.
I used to get nauseous and throw up because of my headaches. My head would literally hurt so bad it made me nauseous.
My stuff, I was shivering. Like the shivers, I don't know if it's because I don't drink water like that. Well, back then I didn't want to drink water like I was supposed to.
No, I didn't either.
I don't know if my body and my head, like, it was just horrible. I just remember shaking one day so bad. Like, I felt like glue. Like I got electrocuted. When I said I was shaking, but I was drained.
Yep.
I had headache.
Yep.
All at once.
Yeah.
Like you said, eating, you're not worried about eating.
No.
Especially when light hits you. When I said I had to turn my cell phone light on dim. And it was so bad because I was trying to. I think my sister Ty, she was saying to me, because me and her, of course, we're really close and things like that. Now I'm trying to tell her, everything is okay because I didn't want nobody to know.
Yeah.
And I'm literally have my phone on low, trying to text, and it hurt so bad.
Wow.
But I didn't want an alarm or let nobody know.
Yeah.
So I had to turn my brightness down all the way on my cell phone.
Wow.
Text far away. Or, I probably even let Siri say something because I had iPhone. But I couldn't be exactly by my phone because even with the dim light, my head hurt so bad.
Been there, done that.
My BC powder. And I had to turn the light back. And I'm like, oh, God.
I don't, and now when I get a headache, and my AVM has been removed. So I'm really paranoid when I have headaches now. I don't have them that often, but when I do, I am paranoid as I don't know what. I'm like, okay, God, what is going on?
Like you said, I thank you and thank the Lord now that I've been on this medicine that gave me my headaches. It's not as intense as it used to be.
Yeah.
And I don't get them as often. I can honestly say that. That's the best thing. Because it seemed like as I got older, and I don't know, especially once I start having kids, and of course, in this toxic relationship, I know he had his hands on me. Yeah. Because there's so many days that I felt like I was going to bust a blood vessel in my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. I can relate. Been there, done that. Got the scars to prove it. Now I got little dents in my head, and the
right. And like you said, and I think with me, I think I wasn't embarrassed, but I knew something. I'm like, this is not normal.
Because no other kids, nobody I ever knew had complained about headaches the way I knew my head hurt. I mean, I know occasionally I'd hear somebody say they had a headache, but not as much as I was having headaches.
Like you said, dang, I'm complaining and like you said, every now and then.
Yeah.
Well, kids, you should even be having it.
Exactly.
But me, I'm like, no, something is not right about this.
Exactly.
And like you said, of course, back then, technology wasn't what it is today.
No, it's not. Technology has come a long ways. Thank God. Yep.
And you just tell your mind, of course, first thing she's going to give you some aspirin.
Yep.
Oh, you just got a headache. Go in there, drink some water, lay down. And I did that.
Yeah. But they didn't know. And like I say, now my mama has been tested. When she left here after I had my stroke, she went back to Houston and found a neurologist to have her self-tested and found out she got one too. But she didn't have headaches. So that's why I say we all need to be tested. Everybody who has an ounce of our grandmother's blood in us, because she had her, we lost, her mom died of a stroke. All of her sisters, Aunt Alzina, Aunt Henrietta, all the sisters, she had like 7 sisters. I can't think all of them names, but all of them died from strokes. We have some cousins that have died from strokes. So this is something that runs in our bloodline. It's a generational curse. But I'm the generational curse breaker.
Yeah, and I thank you, because of course if you didn't educate me, I would still be seeing powdering and Googling and
and you can't afford to have what I had, because I have support here with a husband, and and his family helped take care of Zon. They were real good about, they changed off his mama and his sister and his brother-in-law and their kids. They all pitched in and helped. Thank God it happened back then, because now ain't none of them in the same situation where they be able to be as much of a help to us as before. But it happened at the right time. Everybody was on board and took part. They had Zon. They knew Zon, the girl that I told you I interviewed last week, that I lost the Zoom link. We couldn't find that video. She knew Zon before they knew me. They had met my baby before they met me.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because Karen, we go to the same church as my sister-in-law now. So Karen and them had asked for the pastor for the church to pray for their sister-in-law. Me, the baby that they met, was my baby. So they met my baby before they met me. Yep.
Wow.
Yes. Small world.
Small world, definitely.
Yeah. So, but okay. And now, how about a memory from your young adult or teen years that you knew it had to be God because your situation changed? Or God had kept you?
Well, Ben is my kid's father, because I met him. I was 19 when I met him.
Okay, something different.
Okay, so I'm gonna say actual when I was actually a teen. Well, okay, so we would go to the football game. And some of the football games was at night. Some of the football games was during the day. No, actually, I was the color guard. And oh my God, we was getting ready to go. We had just been practicing. We had Saturday. I think we had a what do you call it? A parade to do. Oh my God, when I say it was horrible, because my headache came out.
Whoa.
It came out of nowhere, and I'm just like, it was hot already out there. The sun, the heat, it was draining me. But I had to do it because we had already started walking the court.
Wow.
Say goodbye parade, you got to keep
Yes, keep going.
I say, God carried me that day.
Wow.
Yes.
In a parade.
He carried me, because when I tell you, I was was like, oh, when I said, and of course you had to smile. When I said it was hot, then we had on these velour tight suits.
Wow.
It was just hot, and when I say my head ached, and I'm like, no, not right now. But, and of course, like I said again, once you at the parade is only going full. You got to finish it all. Then you go back to your. It's like, oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? But God had His hand on, because I actually ended up finishing it. Maybe I got to the nearest BC powder and walked out and laid down on the ride back to school. I slept like if somebody literally wanted to take my bag, they could. So when I tell you, I was asleep.
Wow.
And I was asleep like I probably was snoring and everything, like
slob asleep.
That whole way with pretending.
Wow. But God.
Nobody but Him.
Okay, and another memory. Something from when you might have been told about this because it was your younger self when you were a child, a toddler, or an infant. So you ain't gonna necessarily remember a toddler or infant. Somebody would have had to tell you that. So how did you remember? I mean, how did you know, looking back now, that God had to be involved because the situation turned around? It didn't turn out as bad as it could have been. It changed.
I would have to say, like you said, my mom told me about. So I was too young to do it, but my mom always told me, like, first like the little kids play around and run around, and I remember one day Nikki, well, I can't remember really, but I remember my mom looked at Nikki, because actually when I was younger, and I still got a dent in my head to this day. My oldest sister, she was pulling me on her bike, and I was about a handlebar. She was going over rocks and things like that, and I hit. You know what? Come to think about it, I wanted to Death Star my I
no.
Death Star my head, because I hit on this. I hit my head on this pointy rock. She ended up losing control of the bike, and I fell forward. She fell to the side, and I just remember my mom saying she whooped her, because she told Nikki that she didn't want her pumping me on the bike. I think Nikki had just learned how to actually ride the bike, so she wasn't good enough for me to pump.
Yeah.
And again, it wasn't the 2023 like it is now. There was no back seat. I was just, on my own seat. So back in the day, everybody used to pump each other, on the front part. Yeah. Sit on the handle. And I was so skinny and small. And I remember she was going over all of these rocks.
Wow.
She lost control. She fell sideways, I went forward, and of course the rock that hit me, that hit my head. Yeah. Yeah. So I just remember all this blood. My mom, of course, and anything,
Oh, yes.
She's nervous. So she's like, oh my God. She was like, I had to whoop her so bad, and I just remember you always at, and they seem like so crazy. I had picture day coming up, and they can't. But to this day, I still have that dent on my head that reminds me of that.
Wow. But God, it could have been worse. You could have had your stroke then.
Yeah. So again, that's how it was God again.
Yep.
But it's Him. It's again, like you said. And at the time, I had it. Like you said, I think I was so young at the time. The headaches wasn't theirs again.
Yeah.
But I was still living with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember farther back than that. I mean, possibly when I was in kindergarten, but I think the older I got, they progressively got worse. And I don't know whether us being females, I don't know if that have anything to do with our cycles and our developing, our bodies changing, but they progressively got worse. At least that was the case for me.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
That was that I know, like you said, that would, as you said, and as I got older, having kids, you know, when I was talking to my primary doctor about that as well, 'cause I'm like, I'm getting older.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go into 40 with a cycle. This it's draining, you know.
Yeah.
Like, my body is not like it used to. So I'm like, hey, something got to give.
Yeah. Hang on in there.
I know.
Things change. You might find somebody else who don't have kids. Like Alex didn't have any kids. I gave him Zon. And I don't regret it, not one day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, hang in there. I know nobody likes having cycles, but they're necessary. Look, it's a necessary evil.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, of course. Unfortunately.
Exactly.
I get it all these years.
Okay, in closing, what does being refined by the fires mean to you? Would you say you've been refined by the fires?
Oh, most definitely. To be honest with you, me refining myself, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I tell my kids now, it's no certain age of learning.
Yep.
There's no certain things.
Nope.
Me, like you said, I was finding that out at 35, 36,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that I had this birth defect.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to refine myself. I had to change the
Yep.
way I was doing things, like you said. So now going with, whether it's friendships, relationships,
Mm-hmm.
business-ship,
Mm-hmm.
partnerships,
Yep.
if things trigger me and that's going to make me even feel like I could do something to have a headache, hey, I have to go.
Yep.
Because, of course, now you're triggering with my life.
Exactly.
And we're going to be honest with you. We're getting older.
Yep.
Even the things that we eat and process,
Mm-hmm.
let's be honest with
My
you.
diet has changed tremendously.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm more of a I love fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I love fruits. And
Mm-hmm.
my doctor keeps encouraging me to get it. But, you know, I'm getting older. And at first I wasn't like that. I was still eating like, you're not the 20-year-old. You got to come to reality check.
Yep.
And unfortunately, as you get older, hey, things gravitate to you different.
Exactly.
So also, what you put into your body also triggers your mind.
Yep.
And you have to look at it if you want to be around here for a while.
Exactly.
Don't, you do what you want to do. No, I had to take a different approach. I had to redefine the way I eat. I had to redefine my live. So it's just me and my 3 kids now. But guess what? Like you said, I can go in as long as they took their time. I made dinner. I can go in there and open up a good book, eat my fruit, which I do.
Yeah.
I love cantaloupe, strawberries. I love blueberries,
cherries,
different things like that.
Oh my God!
Water more.
Yeah. Me too. I love water now, but it
I'm
has to be
so
bottled water, and I don't like all bottled water because Alex drinks seltzer water. Gross. I'm back on Ozarka. We used to buy Kentwood down here in Louisiana. But now I'm buying Ozarka again, like I used to drink in Texas.
Yeah, because that's all. She doesn't drink nothing else.
Yeah.
But Ozarka. And I'm like, Grandma, that costs an arm and a leg. And no matter how much it costs.
And she don't care.
She's going to get her Ozarka. Yeah,
her case of Ozarka.
Her case of Ozarka. She does not play it. And she's still like that.
Yeah.
Ain't written it all.
Yeah. And she drinks it. She don't be laying there. Yeah, that she drinks. She don't care whether it's hot, it's been out a while, and she don't care. She gonna finish that bottle.
Yeah. Even if she sips day by day, she's gonna drink.
Yep. Well, it's been good to talk to you, cuz. Thank you for your time.
Always a pleasure.
I appreciate you taking our time to spend with me, and this will be the close of the beginning. Because I want to become an advocate, not just for our family, but for everybody who has not necessarily headaches, but if you have any family members who have passed away from strokes, by all means, you need to dig deeper, talk to somebody else in the family and find out, You know, how did these people die? And if you got stroke, you need to go and have yourself checked, even if you don't have headaches, or if you know somebody with headaches, a friend or another family member or something, you need to suggest to them, like I did with Keisha. I was like, girl, you need to go and get yourself checked because this is hereditary. And as you just heard, she went and found out she has one too. After she's found out and was tested from her doctor. So this is not a game. This is for real. Not play. This is your life. Do not play with your life. So thank you guys. And thank you, Keisha, for your time. I appreciate you. Always a pleasure talking to you. And God bless everybody.
Because thank you for everything. Actually enlightening on me on something that I didn't know that I was living with all this time.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for you speaking of this and going through this, not only speaking of it, actually
exactly, and still going through it. Because like I say, I have to have my levels checked. I call it my cocktail. I take anti-seizure medicine cocktail 3 times a day. And it's like 3 different medicines I have to take because of the scar tissue. Because just because you have the surgery, you don't necessarily have scar tissue. But because of my scar tissue, that's what caused my seizures. And if I don't take my medicine, I will have a seizure. So, of course, I'm not going to go without my medicine because if I don't have a seizure, that means I can't drive for 6 months. And I can't do that because I'm my husband's helpmate. And I have to get Zon to school and to her activities and to church. So, no, we're not doing that. He needs me because the family that was helping us back in the day, they can't help anymore. They're in the point where everybody got their own things going on and they can't do it anymore. So they wouldn't be able to step in and help take her wherever she needs to go. So thank you again, Keisha, and good night, everyone. Stay refined, relate, reflect, relate, refine.